Hello and welcome to the DEC's video series on using Zoom in the classroom. Today in this video, we're going to talk about using Zoom to record, using the camera in the classroom, and some recommended practices going into fall of 2020. I'll first start by showing you how to schedule a meeting with automatic cloud recording. When scheduling a new meeting, you type in your topic, description, date and time. And if we go down to the very bottom, the last meeting option that you would consider is recording the meeting automatically and choose cloud recording. Once you've done that and your session is over, you can look over on the left-hand side of your screen to the recordings tab and you will see all of your cloud recordings that you have associated with your Zoom account. Please note this column here that there is an auto delete for all Zoom cloud recordings for 30 days, but faculty have the option to opt out of any video that they wish to keep longer than 30 days. If one wants to do that, simply go over here, click more, and disable auto delete, and you will be able to retain any recordings that you want to keep for posterity. While the camera I have here differs a little bit from the one you would expect to see in the classroom, the basic principles are the same. In every classroom on campus, you're going to get a document camera that has an arm that can angle either to function as a webcam where it looks directly at you as the instructor, or you can turn it to capture a classroom experience or maybe perhaps something on the board. Okay, so it's going to be up to you, depending on your teaching style, to angle the only camera that you have natively in the classroom as you see fit. You can always connect additional cameras and additional devices to a Zoom meeting if it's needed. The last thing we're going to speak about today is some best practices, or certainly recommended practices going into the fall. First and foremost, with all of us wearing masks in the classroom, as I am now, it's imperative that you find a way to project your voice both to the in-class audience and the remote audience. So certainly when possible, you can use a headset, much like I have here, just earbuds with a microphone, and that can be useful for both your remote audience and any in-class participants that want to view a recorded Zoom session after the fact. The second option I want to talk about is in the shared screen here, which is spotlight my video when speaking. As the host of Zoom sessions, you can determine a lot of what students see. And so what you would see in this section here is when you go to your video settings, you can spotlight my video when speaking, which is down here. And what Spotlight does is it prioritizes which video feeds students see. Certainly if you've got multiple students joining with videos, certainly anyone who talks would kind of pop up naturally into people's fields of view. But if you choose Spotlight my video as the host, that means that anytime you speak, your video is going to be prioritized over everything else. This can be useful for giving directions or offering clarification. Another good practice is to mute those who don't need to speak. One of the things you will be able to do is manage your participants, and some of that is turning off people's videos that you don't need to see their videos. You can also mute those who don't need to speak at present. Certainly if you've got background noise or maybe some feedback issues, which can happen with people, multiple people on Zoom at the same time in the same area, muting those who don't need to speak can be a good practice. And finally, you want to try and bridge the gap between your in-person audience and your remote audience. Consider using groups or breakout rooms to have students work collaboratively, whether they're in class or out of class. And a lot of that's going to depend on your teaching style and the content. Certainly, for more detailed information regarding Zoom, please visit the DEC's website, linked in the document. And if you need assistance, you can reach out to the DEC by calling 434-395-4332 or emailing us at dec@longwood.edu. We are available both for classroom demonstrations in small groups or for individual faculty members or departments, but please reach out. Take care.